Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Randomizer. We have Season 5 of the league starting up here, and we have got a good match here for you today. We have Team Triple Fiesta of Teto and Scholzer on the left versus Team The Eastern Skippers represented by Shady Horse and Zelga Dasan on the right. How's it going, folks? I am Wolfling0370, and we are already underway. Joining me on the co-commentator, we have Magno. How's it going?
Hi, I'm fine. Good evening, everyone. And on the tracker today, Daruk and Bandman25. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Lots of strong runners in this. And we see an Onkel start on Teto and Shady's side. And yeah, Zelga and Schulze are going into the woods already.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of diversions thus far, and that's because for this one, we have all dungeons cooperative play. So these two runners are actually allowed to share information between between each other to their teammate. So right now, Scholzer there has just told old Teto where the flute is, and Teto was told along with Shady Force that his teammate can find Ether in the hidden chest or the hidden passageway chest.
Yeah, and we also get lots of money from the bush crab, 20 rupees there. And I guess everyone wants the flute immediately. And yeah, often there's some goodies in Kakariko you want to get. So it's pretty worth to go grab the flute now.
Yeah, and having fast travel enabled this early on is just really good. It's going to help your movement a lot.
Yes, and even though this is co-op, they are not allowed to watch their teammate's screen. They are only able to listen to their voices and share information by voice and not by the screen. So, and obviously you cannot stream snipe your opponents. It's just you and your screen with your teammate on the ears.
Yeah, and even if they were allowed, which they're not, then we do have a 10-minute stream delay in place as well. All right. Flute coming online now for Scholzer. Eastern Skippers, I believe, also got their flute online with Zelga. And to talk about the mode we're playing here, all dungeons, just to give a basic here in case it's the first time you've ever seen Link to the Past. Normally for a randomizer seed, you're only required to grab the 7 crystals no matter which dungeon they're in, and then go up to Aghanim 2 to defeat the boss so that you can fight Ganon directly. In this, that's not enough. If you do all of that and then go see Ganon, he'll tell you you're not done with your goal yet. You have to go get the 3 pendants, and in addition to that, you have to go fight Aghanim 1 because that counts as a dungeon.
You got wax in your ears? I cannot die. Yeah, that's what he says when you go to phase 4 and have not completed all the dungeons.
And if you don't have the dungeons completed, he's just immune in phase 4. You can fight him up until that point, and that's to prevent a soft lock. But once he gets to phase 4, he's just completely immune to everything until the goal is met. First look at the well here, and we have a red potion. With the heart piece. I believe we're getting our first look at library here too. Shovel. 10 arrows. And the bow. And we have a red ruby at library. The bow is a huge find this early on. That is going to be our primary weapon.
And since this is no Sanity, we can full clear Eastern by now. I mean, we don't have the lamp, but runners of this caliber don't need the lamp to complete Eastern.
That's right. Most dungeons require the lamp because of the dark room logic. But if you know the dark rooms by heart or have an alternate fire source, in most cases, the fire rod with some torch knowledge, you can just skip most of that. And we get some blue mail as well, so some defense for our Kakariko folks.
It's funny how, like, Teto and Shady are doing the same routes as Zelga and Schulze are doing the same route. So this is the same split of locations both teams do.
We are seeing a little bit of divergence here, I think. Now it looks like that both runners are going to be checking that shovel real quick. And both runners are... This is a very standardized route, I think, from both these runners. They're just doing the same thing. And that is a huge find. That is the Moon Pearl there at the digging spot. That's going to relate to Shady Force immediately by Zelga. And likewise, to Tato by Scholzer.
Yeah, that's a really good find. You want immediate Darkwood access so you can better split up your checks with your teammates so you don't have to follow into your teammates' footsteps, do the same checks, run behind.
And I believe we just found the other Malo crate, the hookshot, and the lamp in Paradox Cave. What?
What?
That was a huge value there. That puts Eastern fully in logic. Eastern skippers might have to not live up to their name and go straight there.
And also the mountain is fully in logic now with flute and lamp and hookshot. I say fully, I mean like Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave. Wait, so Tato wants a refill as soon as he grabbed the old man. Because when you die with the old man in your pocket, in your bag, you spawn at the uncle. No, I mean at the old man with 3 hearts again.
Okay, Shadyverse did his due diligence here and moving on to Ice Rock Cave and getting rewarded with the Canis Samaria.
Ooh, that's a nice find. I mean, we have a flute. That's a spot we can always come back to. But yeah. And I believe we haven't seen a map check yet, but we see this P on the top left corner on Zelga's and Schulz's screen. So Eastern Palace is a pendant. We don't know yet if it's the green pendant or not, but I mean, Amos Knights will tell us, right?
Yeah. And realistically speaking, I don't see a map check being all too useful in the future. It's just, you know, you have to do all the dungeons regardless, so just knowing which ones you have to do sooner rather than later is kind of a moot point.
It could be for like green pendant and red bomb check, and it could tell you if you have to find the ice rod in GT, if Turtle Rock's a pendant, or the mirror in GT as well, if Swamp's a pendant.
That is a very good point you just raised here. Because of how the All Dungeons works, it could be required to do one of the pendant dungeons last, because GT has a required progression item there. Although it won't be the mirror, as Zelga finds it right there in Eastern Palace. Good find. Schulzer will be finding that momentarily too.
Yeah, especially for routing for 2 players, mirror is always good, so you don't leave things behind. And the sword is good as well. So that's 2 items.
Meanwhile, we have a bottle check here. I don't think anyone's done this. It's just a piece of heart. And Paradox Cave, so far the lower side didn't pay off. Let's see what the upper side has. The hammer. Our container. The fire rod. Wow.
Early stacked seed. Okay, and Schulze is doing the 50-50 in Eastern Palace, so he's skipping the big key chest, he leaves the big key chest for Tato to check if the last item is not on Amos Knights. Tato will come in and check the big key chest, I think.
That is going to delay the sword slightly for them, but it should be fine regardless.
And Schulze will be rewarded with the last item on Amos Knights. Okay, that's a very stacked mountain with a mushroom on floating island.
And with that hammer, we're gonna go straight over the Tower of Hera, which is fully in logic, actually. Eastern Palace Clupeter on Schulzer, meanwhile, that is the red pendant, so nothing locking that just yet. And we see that Hera is a crystal of some kind.
And Tato does not like the small key in the first check. We'll be skipping that for now.
Not for long. Oh, he's not gonna go get the big key from the basement, which is there. There's no other place for it to be.
I mean, he can still find both items.
I think that's what he's
And
banking on.
apparently, Team Triple Clown Fiesta likes to go a little bit skippy in the dungeons, and the other player has to what do you say? Clean up the trash and then clean up the items in the dungeons if they leave anything behind.
Well, now, unfortunately, the items are pretty much set in stone. There's one in that big key chest. They have map compass here in Hera, so unfortunately, Channel's route here does not pay out immediately. And sometime will have to be sunk if there's a major item in the big key chest.
Okay, and Schulze is just going to grab that ether of the secret passage. I mean, it's in all dungeons, we probably need that.
And Moldorf's death has the red boomerang. Not really all that important in the grand scheme of things. There's our first sword for Shady Force, but that's the second one. I couldn't quite tell from the coloration.
Yes, and since this is co-op, we're also splitting the heart containers we're getting. Like, you don't go out of your way just for a heart container. But yeah, this is also a skill to tell your teammate where the heart containers are and let them decide if they want to grab them or not.
Okay, it is just the fighter sword for Shady Force. Alright, here's a look at Spiral Cave. This is the last check on the mountain for now. And it's a glove, which puts us Dark Worlds are now in access.
Yep, and now Tito has to go grab the shovel to dig up the moon pearl. Which was in Cagwell, I believe.
Yeah, and we'll also be getting a good few items there as well, including a bottle.
So now Tato could go into the Dark World without the mirror and without the sword. But I think you want the sword and the mirror just to make good use of the Dark World routing.
Being a Dark World... Oh, wait, never mind. I heard the jingle, then I realized, wait, this is just Zelda going there this way.
Ooh, and that's a Master Sword on the Zelda's chest. So, Hyrule Castle holding off the Master Sword for us.
That's a pretty good... That's probably a good 90-second time investment to go down and get, but it'll be a quick return with the mirror, so... Probably worth while getting that.
Alright, and since this is in all dungeons and we have the lamp, we have Master Sword, we could do Agar just now. I mean, we have to do it anyway, and just to get some East Dark World action going. Yeah.
That is true. Alternatively, because we have just full access to the Dark World without fighting Aghanim 2,
Alright.
or Aghanim 1, we could just save it right for the end, mirror, and then defeat Aghanim 1 there. It really just is a matter of when we want to do it. And because Aghanim 1 gives you a refill right at the end of the fight, it may very well just be safe for the end. To be done just before Ganon.
Okay, so Schulze has to take the potion not to die on the mountain. Those green rocks deal 1 heart of true damage.
So to once again and catch anyone who missed our explanation here, for the co-op thing, both runners are allowed to share information of what they find with each other. They don't have any other information that they can pull from, and we are going off of, when it comes down to it, an average finish time for these two teams. The team with the faster seed average will win this race.
So you think Schulze will get the second item in Tower of Hera?
I think they should not ignore it.
Because he didn't grab the small key though. I think they want to skip it.
Could be good, could be bad. Because we are still missing a couple of very important items here. One that stands out to me right away is the Titan's Mitts. But it could also be our Ice Rod, it could be our Flippers. We need a lot of items for an All Dungeons Go mode. So I'm not 100% sure I agree with this. But at the same time, Schulze could also just do it after he defeats the Lamolins, or Moldorm. Yes. I always get them too mixed up.
Yeah, me too. It's something with those two.
It's just the word bosses, man. They just have such interchangeable names half the time.
Oh, Shady is doing Aga.
Alright. Knows the hammers and logic, so knows that you can do it sooner rather than later. So probably wants this for the Dark World Warp Point. And it looks like Schulze is leaving that item behind, so we'll see if the Eastern Skippers choose to leave it behind as well.
No, Tito didn't skip the Eastern Sword. He also didn't skip the bow. It's fine. It's a very old tracker software, which sometimes eats inputs. Like, it's fine. Wait, or did he skip something and has to go back in? Wait, did he skip it?
I think he skipped the big chest, maybe.
Okay, oh boy.
Oh, he hasn't done the boss yet, so... Yeah, okay, maybe he did do it. Yeah, he didn't open the big chest. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Small time loss there, but should be fine regardless. So going to be entering Hype Cave here in just a moment. This will be our first look into the Dark World. Schulze, meanwhile, will be entering Dark World, but from the Village of Outcast side. So we'll be seeing a little bit of those items over there.
Yeah, you can full clear Thiefstone and Skullwood, so why not? Tito will go Hype Cave probably. I mean, we can already clear Pot as well, so that's up for a nice splitting checks in the Dark World.
Now, we did see a map check there briefly, and I believe I saw that Thieves Town was, in fact, a red crystal, and Meyer was our green pendant. I unfortunately didn't catch everything, though. But it looks like one of our chat members did, and TR is the other red, so that's all we need to know. Alright, Agamemnon being fought here by Shady Force. You know what? This is actually giving a good amount of information for Zelga. Because he can relay to Zelga how many orbs that Agamemnon will fire. This will actually be good information to have, because that means Zelga can just like do cave strats on the attacks that he knows cannot be won't be an actual thing. So actually kind of a good idea for Shady Force to do Aghanim now and get that information, now that I think about it.
You can pretty easily dodge the damage to get there, so I think that's not the main reason why you should do it or not. I think, as you said, you should have done the climb later, maybe with boots even, and with like gold sword or half magic, just to make the climb a little bit faster. It doesn't unlock things just now.
Yeah, but the fight needs to be done, and it is now done for Shady Force, regardless.
We can have a look at the pyramid now, which is just 20 rupees. Oh boy.
Meanwhile, we've been going through Palace of Darkness here, and there's the Biggie in its vanilla location for Teto. I haven't seen anything too important here as we fight them off as well on Shoulder's End. Lots of things happening all over the screen. So if there's something I missed, do bear in mind that I only have 2 eyes and I have to look at 4 different screens.
Oh, Schulze is struggling at the moth with the hammer. It's just 4 hearts, even though it's red mail, but the spikes deal true damage.
Yeah, this is a very difficult fight.
He already used his red potion, so has to be careful, and he takes the death.
Ooh, moth deaths are not fun. But also, low health moth is not fun regardless. And it's also low on magic. Honestly, I would just bail at this point because you have to struggle to keep your magic high at this point. It's gonna press on though.
Skip those do 2 hearts of damage on green mail and only half a heart damage on red mail.
That's right. Meanwhile, we are seeing the back of Pod here. So far, it doesn't look like there's been anything of importance here from Tito, other than the fact we know that Pod is a crystal. Likewise, we know Skull was a crystal, but they are both the blue crystals at this point. Because we know the red crystals are TR and Thieves Town with the green pendant and Mire. And that's
okay.
The only ones we
and
need to know.
that was a textbook moth fight with a hammer. And there's also Mids in Thieves Town for Zelga.
That's really good.
I mean, those open up the sea so wide open. We have, like, wait, what are we missing? Flippers and a medallion, maybe? And an ice rod? Okay, maybe boots as well.
Flippers, potentially boots, ice rod, potentially bombos. We don't need the book anymore, per se, in the scene, because we have the ability to backdoor desert.
Wow, we can do so much now.
Yeah, this scene has opened up quite a lot, so even though it's all dungeons, as the co-op nature, this is going to make finding the items so much faster, because both runners can just take different routes, like we're seeing here. Pretty much the entirety of this. Only a map there in the big chest for Tito. Gonna keep moving on here. Again, hasn't really paid out much as this pod dip. Can at least get another crystal on the board though. We're now seeing the outskirts of Thieves Town here from Schulzer. And there's the blue cane. Right.
Okay, but there was nothing inside Skullwood, so Teto can go and go mode this later when he's in go mode. Now, he should not go there immediately because this is valuable time where both runners of a team can go look for the go mode. But yeah, he can put that off for go mode then later.
Yeah, meanwhile, Schulzer's about to find the Titan Smiths. This Eastern Skiers is on the way to blind here collectively. They have laser focused this Titan Smith, and I do not blame them.
They will have to come back to Ice Rod Cave eventually. There's the Zomaria waiting. And this is a rather, yeah, not good looking check when you get access to the entire world. You don't go back to Ice Rod Cave.
It looks like we also have a small key locked inside the big chest, so that does put a little wrinkle in terms of hammer logic, but we don't really care about that. That was our King Fight meanwhile happening right now, and Blind is starting up for the Eastern Skippers. And only a shield really coming out of Tato's thing. Although it looks like we haven't updated the items in a little bit, so it looks like we have to get those updated quickly here. And there we go, another crystal on the board for Zelga-Dasan. Meanwhile, folks, you probably haven't heard this for a while now, but in the last main tournament, we have recently approved the use of MSU packs for Restream. And we are listening to one that is themed around the series of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney on Zelga-Dasan's end.
Yes, and you could even create your own MSU, get it approved, and use it for restreams if you want.
It looks like we are getting confirmation from one of our trackers here in chat that the tracker app has crashed. And so, bear with us, folks. We'll try to get that up and running for you. In the meantime, get shout-outs to our trackers, Bam and Drew, who will hopefully be doing some manual tracking and keeping those items up to date for us here in chat. And it looks like it's fixed now, thankfully. Blind fight now for Shady Force. So far, so good. Zelga is now entering into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, you definitely want those mids, so I can see why Tato and Shady are going into Thieves Town immediately, because those mids open up the seat. You can go Ice Palace, you can go Dark World Mountain with Hookshot Cave. Shady could even enter Turtle Rock and look for the Ice Rod there, or progression. So those mids do open up quite a bit.
Yeah, so where do our runners go next here is the question I want to ask. Based on what we have, it may not be a bad idea to go into Pendant Mire, honestly, and check that area. Alternatively, Desert Palace is also a tempting option, but you can do them both in tandem. But Triple Cloud Fiesta without the Cadence of Maria doesn't really have incentivization to go into Pendant Mire. Huh, so where would they go next? I guess Ice Palace.
Yep, Caneless Ice Palace maybe? I mean, they don't have flippers, but who cares about flippers for Ice Palace, right?
Yeah, logically it's required, but with fake flippers and these runners of these caliber, that might as well be a non-issue. Flippers, meanwhile, are hard required for Swamp Palace because you can't really do fake flipper setups inside the dungeon, at least not that I'm aware of.
I think Tato and Schulze will probably go up the mountain next. One of those two.
Cat, meanwhile, also bringing in a good point. We still have not seen Zora at all, and all four runners, I think, have enough money. I think actually Easter Skippers might not have enough money between the two of them. Hopefully that changes. I believe there was at least one 300 rupee pack here in...
Well, Zelga has 900, so he could pay for it.
I couldn't tell if that was a 9 or a 2, honestly. The font is so small.
Okay, so Shady Force is going to the Moth fight with 6 hearts. Definitely way better equipment than Schulze had.
Alright. So yeah, Shady Force should be doing just fine here. We're gonna have Zelgazon head down to Eastern Palace. Or down to the boss of Palace Darkness. I would not be surprised if Zelga decides to route upwards to do the graveyard checks and then double backs to do the Catfish Zor play. Although I think Catfish Zor
Zelga will go grab the Zumaria and probably go into Ice Palace or the Maya area.
Actually, Zelga could do Zumaria into the Fake Cleaver setup so that can check Waterfall Fairy while doing Zora as well. That is also an option. And then go into Ice Palace from there. Just a little bit of an extension of the route.
But I think you would want to check the water checks from Catfish because you can mirror and splash delete and check the waterfall from there. And also Shady takes the death to the moth fight, to the moth healer. Oh boy.
Moth showing no mercy tonight.
And now Shady's down on 0 magic. Of course he has a blue potion. Because we like dying with a blue potion in hand.
Meanwhile, the Swifts have been turned in on Shoulder's End. And we get a heart piece there.
But I know that feeling. I'm also very greedy with my blue potions. But yeah, you have to say, each potion you bring to the credit screen is a wasted potion.
I'm of the camp that I don't want to go over to buy for a $160 potion replacement when I have Ice Palace still left to do. Having some much better luck here on the Moth, and as we see the Graveyard Lich finally. It is only a heart piece. Shoulder looks to be checking Ace Alpha Grove. Didn't quite see what was there.
Nope, we don't get many frames on Schultz's side.
Back of escape now for Tetum, meanwhile. Nothing important there. Shady Force now with the Moth defeated. Leaving the dungeon and going back to front. Zoka, meanwhile, doing some cleanup here on the left side of the dungeon. Realizes just map comes left and bails. Good awareness there from Zoga.
And apparently, Schultz and Teto did skip the Dark Cross, so Teto is now backtracking this check. Okay, Zelga is going to pick up that Samaria now. Oh, there was a blue potion. In the
yes,
Dark
I believe
Cross
that was the blue potion that
Shady had.
I think Shady actually had the red potion.
He just used the blue potion after dying to Moth, so...
Oh. I guess he didn't know if they'd have the second bottle yet. Alright, Zoga, which way are you going?
Ice, Maya area, or the mountain. Let's go. It's Ice Palace.
Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing the purple chest turn in. At least I hope. Just straight into Meyer there after checking that, so unfortunately we did not see the item that the purple chest turned in from Shoulder, but hopefully we'll see it from Zelga or Shady Force in the future. Because if it's something important, Teto will not be going for it, that's for sure. Second shield pickup, and another heart container. Good amount of health now. Oh, there was silvers apparently in Skull Woods. I just now noticed that. And we just also get the magic cape there for Zelga, which is another item check in the overworld.
Wait, so Silvers and Skywoods? Schulze must have skipped those then.
Yeah, where were they? Maybe Big Chest?
Maybe in the big chest.
Nice item trigger there from Zelga, meanwhile, getting the vanilla big key. Couple of heart pieces with a full heart container there. Nothing much in Hookshot Cave here, as we continue the back door into Ice Palace. Desert, meanwhile, being backdoored by Schulzer. And it looks to be Ether to enter Misery Mire, so this will be a full cleared Mire.
Yeah, and little heads up for everyone. I think you should not stream with 1080p like Schulze is, because it's just Link to the Past, and yep, I think we should stream on a little lower resolution to make restreams not a Dia show like this.
Alright. So it is a small key in the center of Desert Palace. Couldn't quite see if it was boots locked. So far, that's our second item here in Ice Palace, unless I missed a third.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep track on the item counts in dungeons when you see 4 different screens.
It really is, yes.
Just a full heart container in the spike cave.
Good key to burner uses here from Shady Force. And it looks like Triple Climb is going right to the back of the desert, so it looks like at least locked behind that small key was the big key. So it is not a boots locked desert. Now there could still be an item there, and we did not get the chance to see it, but hopefully Teta will be claiming it if it is later. Although we still need to find the boots to begin with.
Okay, so Tato did grab the mushroom, turned it in, and there was nothing on it. So he can tell Schulze, oh, you don't have to pick up the mushroom, it's just garbage. Now he's going to get the Somalia for their team. Meanwhile, Shady Force did find the book in Misery Mire.
Wow, so that means that Desert was hard locked behind the flute, I believe.
Yes. Wait, no. Well, yes, but no. Yes. I mean, you
couldn't access.
enter
I
Desert.
believe it was because you can't access Spyro without the flute.
Yeah.
Which means you also couldn't backdoor Desert until you had the flute to begin with, and the Times Mets. Couldn't even enter the front door, even.
But now you could go into Desert with the book. That's not how it works, right?
We are seeing an Ice Palace play here, and we see Schulzer is still in the Mire area, looking to check. I believe this is going to be Checkerboard Cave. Zelga heading north to the castle. Looks like this is time for Zelga to make the play to Aghanim, maybe?
Well, he didn't grab the Ether Medallion, which is needed for Maya. And also not the sword from Zelda's cell.
Yeah, maybe it's time to upgrade the combat a bit, so I would see it. I could see it.
Just
And
the
we're going
medallion.
with an Nagina check here, meanwhile. Where is Zoka going? Is this a Turtle Rock play? Or is
This
this Dark
could-
Death Mountain?
Dark Death Mountain, I think. But
Oh,
Boots
that
and
might redirect.
Gaia. Reconsider.
I think this is gonna be Dark Death Mountain, not into anything else major. Yeah, I think they're gonna be checking the medallion, which apparently is Quake, so we don't need to worry about. Or yeah, we don't have to worry about medallions anymore. Yeah, so vanilla medallion requirements for the sea, I just realized. For the same dungeons, even.
I don't remember where Quake was, but Schulze and Zelga still have to pick that up at some point.
Quake, I believe, was back in town. I believe it was in the D-side out. It's been a bit. We've only been in here for 40 minutes, but there's been so much information, it's hard to keep track of it all. We're seeing our first look into Meyer, so those boots will eventually be coming to Scholzer's hands. Beatrice, meanwhile, goes down.
So since we know the medallions for Turtle Rock and Maya, we only need flippers for Go mode, and the Ice Rider, of course. But, so Swamp is a Pendant, but Ice Palace is a Crystal, so flippers cannot be in GT, and the Ice Rod can also not be in GT. So GT will just be the big key hunt.
So that's some good news at least. Could have a situation though in which we need to Turtle Rock in order to access our Flippers Lock dungeons, but that's besides the point. Nice and still a different potato now into the water.
I don't think we have seen the water checks yet.
I'll be seeing Hobo for sure coming up here on Tato's end. But I believe this is our first look at him, yes. Alright, now here's a look at Desert Palace, I believe now. Compass and Big Key on the right. I missed what was on the Man Under the Bridge.
We have 300 rupees. Just some cash. I mean, we don't have much left in the overworld, so Turtle Rock Dip might seem to be the play next.
Maybe. We do have the boots to check, as well as some other stuff in the overworld as well. We haven't even seen Zora yet, for example, and I believe we're just now seeing that area with the 20 roofs and the heart container here.
Okay, so Zelga prefers to get the boots fast rather than grabbing silvers for the Vitris fight. Unsurprising. Yeah, Shady's making good use of the silver arrows for Vitty and Lanmo.
Well, Zoga hasn't even been over to the Skullwoods area yet, so prior to the boots here is not the biggest deal.
Oh, nice triple kill on Zelga's side.
Yeah, that lined up pretty well.
Oh, and I guess this was vanilla flippers for Tito. Oh boy, the catfish, the Zora fish with the vanilla item. I didn't see it, I just read it in chat.
I had my eyes attention and elsewhere, yeah. 4 feet's really hard to keep track of once again, folks. This is not easy.
So vanilla flippers are kind of a trolley location. Because it's logically accessible, but you really want to check it like with the waterfall. So with the water walk or splash deletion combined with catfish.
Kingstube having the magic powder as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zelga is going to just get the boots and bail on Vitreous for the time being. Just get the boot.
Wait, where was the big key then? If he doesn't have boots now. Oh, it was here. Ah, okay. And the ice rod apparently was in Bonk Rocks. So this is just Flippers go mode for Team Eastern Skippers. And Ice Rod will be go mode for Team Triple Clown Fiesta then. So I think you do the boots checks earlier than the Zora play, I guess. Because vanilla flippers are a little more troll than the Bonk Rocks. And I think Shady Force is going to full clear Turtle Rock now, since he got Fire and Ice Rod. And Zelga is setting up a second spooky action glitch. Nicely done. Wants some magic though for the cape and fighter sword. Oh boy, that's not the fight you wanna have against the Vitreous. Fighter sword, no silvers. And chat's right, Shady gets another mountain climb by doing Turtle Rock now. But you can't blame him, right? Turtle Rock is 5 items plus Mimic Cave. And I believe it's even a red crystal, so this opens up Pyramid Fairy. And when you have Flippers go mode, Zora is not the first check I would go to. So, yeah. This could be a troll for them. But that was a nice fight with only, silverless fighter sword. Nicely done by Zelga. Tito has the Maria, yes. Yes. And yeah, Team Triple Clown Fiesta is also missing out on the silver arrows in Skullwoods. Okay, what can we find in Turtle Rock? Basically just swords, because we know where all the items are. I mean, Catfish could have the flippers. That's what the Eastern Skippers could think. So probably combine Zora with Catfish. after they did all the dungeons. Probably even after the Red Bomb and Turtle Rock. So I think Shady will be the player to find the flippers for Team Eastern Skippers. Meanwhile, Schulze is going to Palace of Darkness, clearing out Pod, because he can't really do much in Turtle Rock. Doesn't have the Quake Medallion yet. This is the co-op info share all dungeons. Yes. The two runners on the left side are sharing information, and the two runners on the right side are sharing information. And it will count as the average of the team. I don't recall where Quake was. I forgot. Yeah, Wolfling did go to sleep. He crashed, so you have to stick with me for a while. It's fine, I guess, I hope. Oh, Zelga. Nice fire rod kill on Lambo. Where's Brogo? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been in Teto's team last year on the Tanvir Farid All-Stars from Germany, but this year it's triple clown fiesta for Teto with Yoshi and Schulze. So Shady Force not really finding anything inside Turtle Rock, but we know there could only be two swords in there. Zelga is about to grab the ice rod of Bonk Rocks. So go mode for Team Eastern Skippers is Flippers, which are at the vanilla Zora location. And go mode for Team Triple Clown Fiesta is the Ice Rod, which Teto is looking for inside Swamp Palace. But we know the Ice Rod is down there, or up there at Bonk Rocks. So Zelga is now doing the cleanup of Skullwoods, with grabbing the silver arrows, I think, which are somewhere in the front of Skullwoods, which the Clown Fiesta team skipped. Yeah, those two swords could be in GT somewhere. I mean, you could say one member of your team rushes the crystal dungeons and goes looking for swords in GT, maybe. But what pendants do we have, though? It's Swamp Palace, which Teto is doing to look for the Ice Rod, and that's the third pendant then. I mean, they haven't checked pedestal yet, so the Clown Fiesta could think that Ice Rod's on pedestal. Both teams already have one death to Mothula. But Shady now has like 10 hearts and Red May. Wow, that's a nice fight. Again, nicely done by Zelga, the solo spoiler champion. And Shady Force has to be careful here at the Trinex fight, down on 2 hearts. Ooh, no! Gets a hit on Trinex, and I think he's now back at the big chest entrance. Oh, that's a rough one. He was standing a little bit too close on the second phase. Yeah, Schulze shouldn't stream in 1080p. That's just awful for restreaming. So that's the green pendant turn in for Zelga. And checks are getting rather low in numbers for Team Eastern skippers. I mean, Shady Force does have some kind of pressure to be fast with Turtle Rock, because Turtle Rock is holding the red bomb, which are 2 checks, and you could combine the red bomb into Catfish, Mirror for Zora. Oh, right. Shady Force is low on rupees. Oh boy. So Zelga has to do the north route to Catfish and Mirror. And I have no idea how many items there are left in Left Side Swamp. But Teto apparently did not grab the book out of Misery Maya. Did you guys see if Teto did Left Side Swamp? I didn't catch it. Okay, so Teto is going back into Skullwoods. Front of Skullwoods. As if Teto would do Left Side Swamp. Yeah, you're right. Oh, Teto still has to clean up Skullwoods. I'm stupid. Okay. Okay, wait, where's Zelga going? Zelga's not going Turtle Rock because there's not the go mode. He cannot go Swamp? Wait, where did he go from Graveyard Ledge? Ice Rod is in Bonk Rocks. Wait, where was Zelga going after Graveyard Ledge? He's doing Smiths now. Oh, right, there was powder. Oh. Yeah, that's a higher quantity than Catfish and Zora. Apparently Shady just is short on money. I mean, Shady's doing the red bomb now, which also costs 100. So he'll be short 300 rupees. Or 250 for Zora. Oh boy, that's rough. Okay, so Schulze is going to clean up Swamp as well, or probably doing Swamp with left side to check if the Ice Rod is in Swamp. But I'm kind of surprised why Team Triple Clown Fiesta hasn't done the boots checks yet. Let's go clutch 300 in the Pyramid Ferry. Or on Waterfall, I guess, but why would you go Waterfall with Flipper's Go mode? Just 20 rupees there. Oh boy, Shady's just short on cash. I can't believe it. Money's the factor after 1 hour into the seat. It is blind pulling the pedestal. Okay, he doesn't have the book. And it's for 20 rupees. So apparently Shady did not do pot yet. Maybe there's money in pot? I don't know. Okay, Shady hasn't done pot yet. So... I mean, dungeon-wise, you could say that Teto and Schulze are pretty good looking. Schulze is going to skip left side swamp as well. Oh boy. I mean, swamp will be go mode for Zelga and Shady. That's just rough, having flippers on Zora. I mean, it's okay when you do water walk at some point, but when flippers are a go mode, you don't go there. And this is now the catfish play for Zelga, so they are going to be in go mode shortly. When will they check Bonkrokes? It's just there. I mean, they are both clearing dungeons. The other player and their team has. They're not really making any new checks. Schulze is now checking the tablet. I mean, the average of the team will count, and you have to do the dungeon anyway. But I think it's better to go look for the go mode instead of, cleaning the dungeons. You know, the go mode cannot be in. And Zelga is about to get its go mode. The vanilla flippers. Here we go. First team in go mode. The Eastern Skippers. Still have to do Turtle Rock and Swamp, but Zelga will be able to combine Turtle Rock and GT. This could be Team Triple Clown Fiesta dipping Turtle Rock. Wait. It looks like Schulze is dipping Turtle Rock for the Ice Rod. And this probably is Teto going to do Aga Tower. Even though they still have the boots checks. Wow, how bad can you skip the Bonks Rocks or the boots checks? I think they even did Graveyard Ledge, so boots checks are not too bad to check. Yep, Schulze will be able to save the portal, because he has not done Aga yet. And Team Shady Dissan, Zelga Force are in go mode, in no mode at least. I know I mixed up the names. The Eastern Skippers are in no mode. The Triple Clown Fiesta are still looking for the Ice Rod in Bonk Rocks. So Teto is cleaning up Aga now. Schulze is dipping Turtle Rock. Shady is going to grab some money out of Hype Cave, it seems. Because Shady still needs the money for the flippers. Yep, that's enough. But yeah, I think Zelga is still on Fighter Sword. Yep. Zelga wants to find a sword. So, first one to GT. Probably will look for another sword. Yeah, I think that's also very questionable to do Aga for no new check, but send Schulze to Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod. I think they should have done Overworld. Because Tete was clearing Skullwoods, but did not grab the second item out of the front. So we will ask them about the decision making. I mean, yeah. Team Triple Clown Fiesta was doing dungeons with the first runner skipping some stuff, and the second runner clean up that stuff. But not for Skullwoods, at least. And yeah, is it worth to go grab that sword? I mean, if it's your go mode sword and you don't find Master Sword in GT, probably yes. But at this point, we saw every check, I guess, except left side swamp. So I think it's fine to say that there probably have to be 2 swords in GT. Tito wanted to combine Aga Tower with the Catfish check. I think they have even checked Graveyard Ledge, so Boots checks are just there. Oh no, I think Graveyard Ledge was Shady Force earlier. I should have discovered the frame rate. Where are our swords? We know the rest. Oh, I think that's Tato going for the boots checks. He's doing it. Yes, Schulze will be able to save the portal. So that's go mode, and you see Schulze mirroring out of tile room, grabbing this ice rod, going back to Turtle Rock. This is, by the way, the last crystal for Schulze. After that, it's just GT and Aga Tower. So dungeon-wise, it's looking good for Team Clown Fiesta. Both just have to do Turtle Rock. And Lady Force still has to do Ice Palace, Hera, but those are quick dungeons to go mode. And Zelga can already scout GT for swords and the big key. Oh, right. And the Clown's Fiesta does not have silver arrows. So they're on Master Sword Silver list for now. So both teams did last locate one item. It was Flippers for Eastern Skippers and the Ice Rod for the Clown Fiesta. The sword Zelga doesn't have is at Zelda's cell in Hyrule Castle. Oh, Tito down on one heart here at the roller room. Having to do Turtle Rock on one heart is very tough, but he can powder the anti-fairy in a bit. While Shady Force is going to go mode Ice Palace and then Tower of Hera into GT. So I think Schulze will be the first one into GT. Yeah, there's gotta be swords in GT by now. We saw the entire non-GT world. Except Left Side Swamp. I think that's the only thing we haven't seen. And Tile Room. In Hera. Basement. Okay, Shady. Shady. Zelga was catching up a little bit on Trinex. So, hello back. And this is both teams in go mode. Teto just having to do Turtle Rock. He already did Aga Tower, as well as Shady.
Oh man, did I get back in time just for the Big Key guessing game?
Yes.
Get your guess in chat, folks. Let's see if you can figure out where this Big Key is before us. Oh, so I apologize, man. I really do.
Oh, it's not your fault. And oh, how close is this actually? I thought it was. Oh boy, Schulze is the first one to GT, just by a few seconds before Zelga.
So as a result, we will be going off Schulzer's item count. I believe that is the rules when it comes to this.
Boy, have to count then. Oh boy.
And first item is the bug net. Moving over to who's the Stalfos room.
So 25 rupees on in the Hope room.
2 is a small key. Number 3 is 3 bombs. Number 4 is another small key. Number 5 is another small key. 3 on the left side. That's really suspicious.
So what would you do if you find the big key now? Would you go look for the sword or just finish on Master Sword? I mean, they're on Master Sword Silverless, so it could be worth checking a little bit more.
Master Sword Silverless? Yeah, definitely worth finding another sword.
I mean, they skipped Front of Skywoods twice. When Tato was doing the cleanup, he also skipped it. But they were pretty hard last locating the bonk rocks, which is kind of surprising.
I think because of where the small keys were, I think the big key's actually going to be here on the right side. Right here. 7. There's another sword! No, it's just a map, but that is still a great find.
Yeah, would you say, Tato, go to the right side, it's a sword? Considering Master Sword Silverless? Probably, yes. But yeah, Zerga is about to find the big key on the left side, probably, if he doesn't mirror and do right side.
20 rupees, 3 bombs. Another sword!
Okay,
there's
but
all 4 swords accounted for, so Triple Count Fiesta will be looking to be on gold sword here, at least for one of their members, and not both. So no matter which way they go, it is a centralized big key location, or it's in tile room.
So this race will be rather close, right? Because Shady and Tato both have done Aga 1 and get the info where the big key is, where swords are. And yeah, I think this is super close. But Team Eastern Skippers does have silver arrows.
Yeah, the right side sword is going to be skipped here because all the keys are on the left side. It makes a lot of sense here. I think Tito will go get the sword on the right side if it's tile room, just because it'll just be a few more seconds to go get it. But if the big key's not tile room, then I don't think I'll see him going there. Is this a... I know that is a mirror check. It is central, so it doesn't really matter which way you go.
So Shady definitely now wants the tempered sword in random room. They don't know there's a sword in compass room as well.
No, they don't, but still, this is going to be the Eastern Skippers race lose. Now, once again, folks, this is a cooperative race, so we are going by the average time to finish. But a quick math for you here, just for simplicity's sake. If both runners of one team finish before both runners of the other team can finish, then it's pretty much the average of one team will always be faster than the average of the other. Now, if there is a gap in between the first runner and the last runner, and the other team can sneak in between them, then the averages come into play. But if this is looking very strong, like we are not going to be seeing that scenario come into play here, this is going to be very definitively both members of one team will finish first, and therefore the average will always be in their favor.
Yes, it's going to be interesting if it's ABBA or ABAB. No, ABAB is also definite because...
Yeah, it's only an 8. It's only, like you say, it's only if it's going to be the...
ABBA.
For example, Zelga, Soldier, Tato, Shady Force. If it's in that specific order, or Zelga first, then both with Turbo Count, and then Shady Force, then the averages do come into play. But in most cases, averages, all that means is that if both members of one team finish before, or both members of the other team has a chance to finish, then the first team to finish is always going to have the better average.
And I have not looked at the time yet, but 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's pretty good time for an all dungeons, right? Even though it's co-op.
Yeah, you can probably add, if this was a 1v1, this would probably add another hour, but because of the info sharing and just spreading in ground, you can really cut down the time on a lot of Siege just playing cooperatively.
I mean, this was considering last location Zora for Eastern Skippers and almost last location Bonkrog's Ice Rod for Clown Fiesta.
There'll be Gold Sword and Master Sword Silverless for Triple Clown Fiesta, and it's gonna be Master Sword Silvers and Tempered Sword Silvers for the Eastern Skippers. Overall, the advantage is probably in favor of Shady Force amongst the 4 finishing first, with Zoga-san to follow shortly. There is a small window opportunity here for Triple Crown Fiesta to come in with their silver the strats. But if Zoga goes out of his way to get a sword real quick, then that is a moot point.
Yeah, would you go for the sword?
Which sword has Zoga missed? I haven't been paying full
The
attention to
Zelda
that.
Cell.
Oh,
he can go
yeah,
from
no,
the
that would be
pyramid.
pretty quick. That would probably be fast. It's probably a debatable time sync, actually, between doing silver spins or silverless spins versus going down and get that and doing tempered slashes.
I mean, we got a cape, right? And probably a blue potion left. I think Zelda will finish on Master Sword.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss-up and a debate whether or not they do it, but Zoga is such a high-caliber runner that Master Sword Silverless should feel pretty comfortable. It's just a matter of, will that be enough of an opening for Triple Crown Fiesta to sneak in and potentially get an average? And it's looking like, based on their positioning, that it might very well be. But Ganon is summoned for Zoga-san, and it is time to fight him here for the Eastern Skippers. They are going to be the ones attempting this first. And Shady Force is not too far behind. He is actually second in Ganon's Tower right now, with the Shoulder now approaching Aghanim 2, and bringing up the rear is Tito. So this is looking to be a pretty open-ended race here, but with those silvers, Shady Force is going to speed through Phase 4 pretty quickly, faster than Tito and Shoulder can get them down.
Yeah, I think this is looking really good for Eastern Skippers, but if the silvers were on Clown Fiesta side and not on Eastern Skipper side, this would be really close.
Yeah, now Silga still has to do Aghanim. That is one thing that... Actually, Soldier also has to do Aghanim, so there is a runner on each side that still has to do Aghanim, so that is also a factor. But if Zoga was going to grab the Tempered Sword, it would have been before it going up to Aghanim, so definitely going to be going for Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah, it looks like Shady will be the first finisher here.
Yeah, now there is...
Considering tempered silvers and almost dropping to Ganon now.
Yeah, Tato's there as well, but there is very unlikely that we will have the silverless players finish in a situation in which an average will come into play, I think. It's very hard to tell, but if they have a chance, it's going to be a slim one.
I like how we have 3 different swords between the 4 runners. We have Master Sword, Tempered, and Gold Sword between the 3 of... between the runners.
Yeah, it's a shame, but no one's going to be going for Fire Sword. I don't know. Oh, wait.
Oh no, wait. You can.
So here we go, the Ganon fight for or our runners here. As you can see, Temper Sword slashes are going to hit Ganon, but for Zelga specifically, slashes with the Master Sword against Ganon do not work. You have to spin. Which is why having the Temper Sword is such a big deal sometimes with these Ganon fights, because that just speeds you up by a good minute and a half at least. Both runners now into phase 3.
So Tito had a really good phase 2.
Yeah, both runners are going to be neck and neck here, but you'll soon see the Silvers coming into play with them doing their hits. They are pretty much teleport for teleport here.
Yep,
they are perfectly in sync.
Yep. That's all the silver difference.
And here comes the silver arrows into play, and you'll see just how big a difference it makes.
Yeah,
And there it goes. Shady Bird's already done. Agate of 1 falls for Zelga Dasan.
Okay, so Shady is our first finisher with 1 hour 26:31 seconds, but Tito will be the second, probably.
Nice tech here from Zelga Dasan, using the Canis Samaria to ensure double spins on the Ganon fight. To speed this up, he needs 12 spins for each of these first 2 phases. So getting those double hits is just a huge boon and will allow him to just get this phase done as fast as possible. We're into phase 2 coming up here. Yeah, looking like phase 2 is going to be starting up here.
Oh, that's a
great
really
positioning.
Good position.
Yeah, I can just tuck himself in the corner here and get a ton of spins in. This should be a 1 cycle here, if not just barely a 2. Meanwhile, Tato finishing up 127.10. And so we have the situation here that we could be going down to an average. It depends entirely on whether or not Eastern Zelga can close this out. Phase 2 still going into or needs another hit. Backing off because of the Firebirds. Trying to sneak in a couple more hits here. That should be enough. Maybe 1 more, 2 more. But now Scholzer is also into the Ganon fight with the gold sword in hand, so it'll only be 6 slashes to get through these first 2 phases. So it should be very quickly here for Clown Fiesta to catch up.
This would be really close if Zelga didn't have the silver arrows.
Yeah, this will be really close indeed. Unfortunately, spin attacks have to be done against Ganon, and they do not. And the gold sword does not speed up of the fight. There's the first arrow shot from Zelga Dasan. Doesn't get the torches. That's fine.
No, you don't want the torch glitch with silver arrows.
And there we go, triple. And that's going to do it. Zelga Dasan will finish 3rd overall, but because we are going by averages, that will lock out the Crown Fiesta from getting a better average than the Eastern Skippers. They are your winners here tonight. GG's to Eastern Skippers.
GG's.
Zelga finishing with a 128.35, so it's about a 127 and 30. 127, 128 time. That is not going to be able to be met. So GG's to them. What a race.
Yes, and they are getting congratulated by Dr. Marty, the 3rd team member of Eastern Skippers in the chat. Nice. He's there cheering for the boys.
Of course, we're only just getting started here with their matches.
And that's Schulze finishing for Clowns Fiesta. GG's for everyone.
GG's. 129.31. All of these times are very respectable. Well, very strong times all around.
Oh, they don't have invites for the interview, okay. Let me see.
This I will be getting in them shortly, but it will take a little bit of time. So, folks, while we're waiting for them, do make sure to give our forerunners here a follow for putting on an excellent race. We'll be getting them an interview shortly here, as soon as we are able to do so. But yeah, what did you think of the run here, Magno? How was it?
Yeah, it was weird, really weird to have Go mode and Bonk Rocks so hard last located. I mean, they did a really good job finding all the other items. But yeah, the last one was tough for both teams.
And we are now joined here in the booth by Team the Eastern Skipper, Zelda Ganon, Shady Force. Welcome in. GG's once again on your victory here. Walk us through the seat here. As we are also joined by Schulzer as well from Triple Clown Fiesta. I believe Tato will be joining us shortly as well.
Yo, GG's. Yeah.
GG's.
This one was very awkward kind of the whole way through. Like Shady starting Aga as soon as I find the hammer and glove back to back from the very start. Just was kind of like the kickoff of everything just being really awkward, and him having a sword I never get. So, interesting seed for sure. It felt really
the
bad.
Last one was though.
Yeah, I saw Schulzer had gold sword. Was that? It must have been flipper locked, I guess.
No, it
right
was
side
the
GT.
Zoom.
Oh, okay.
And the compass.
Compass chest.
Okay, yeah, I found the big key right as Shady was going to like tile room. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the main thing that I think that burned us in the end was not having silvers. Because that saved a ton of time, because we had to do so much low percent stuff, witty on 6 hearts, and I didn't have the cape at the time. We did have a big time was not getting silvers because I died on Motsuna, because Motsuna is stupid. And I decided to skip an item in Skywoods then, and of course it's silvers.
We are now joined by Tito as well. GG's to you, and once again to all 4 of you for putting on such an amazing race.
Hey, GG's.
Yo, GG's, thank you.
GG's.
Yeah, those silvers really did have an impact, and I was about to question Team Triple Clown Fiesta about skipping the front of Skywoods there twice. You didn't want to go back, right?
Yep. If it's the front, they could already go mod a lot of things. So it's like the same with the bonk rocks. At this point, it's like, yeah, this is not looking good. So we are lucky that the flippers were a little bit off as well. So this was okay, but yeah, we could have lost this by a landslide.
I think at the point where Team Eastern Skippers could have checked the water checks, they found so much stuff that they put off the water checks, and you don't look for the flippers vanilla, you would say, as go mode. It's only one check in the entire area, and when you can clear like Turtle Rock and the Smith Chain and all that stuff, it's many more checks than just Zora and maybe Catfish. And there was a point Shady wasn't having enough money, right? That was a factor as well.
Yeah, even at the end after it was found out, we were trying to figure out for me to get the rest of the money I needed, because after you beat Aga, the bush crabs go away. So I wasn't sure if there was in the end. We just figured out Hype Cave was just probably the best option, even though it was a bit slow. So that was another awkward point in the seed.
Yeah, I had a bit of luck. I got a lot of money, and later on with the Palace of Darkness play, it's like, oh, there are 300 just on the way, even for go moding it for Schulzer later. So he got this money out of this check.
Yeah, but I did like the approach of Team Clown Fiesta, like skipping stuff in dungeons and the second player to go and clean up the rest. I think that was pretty good.
When did we ever do that?
we didn't skip a lot, and if we skipped, we both did skip things. So except for Hera, that was the only early game skip we just did because Darkwood access. So at this point, it wasn't Darkwood access, but yeah, this would have played by Schulzer later on if he decided to grab the mountain items. After I got the gloves from the spiral cave, it was another point of not going back into this, and every other track we just decided that we both gonna skip those items because let's play this risky. And I think it's like minute 30-40 where it was like one item go mode after we got the flipper. So we had a lot of stuff to do with Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock, and those overworld checks we unfortunately never checked.
And as we see the item cast now here, Shady Force, 99 only items found. That is impressive.
Sub 100, let's go. Look at these clowns opening so many extra chests. What are you guys doing, you know?
Wait a second. You play sub 100 collection rate in a co-op race. That's cheap.
Hey, this is not the first time.
I do this in the normal mode, playing by myself. So
Yeah, you did just let Sega get all the chests, and you just went, okay, now I can go mode this dungeon. Thank you, Sega.
I mean, if you've got a Zelga on your team, why would you not do that strategy? You know?
that's the reason why I joined this
get
team.
the first place time, so I get all the glory too. You know, it works perfectly.
I went with Schulzer and Yoshi because it's like, so yeah, do all the hard work. I sit here and relax a little bit. And look at this. Schulzer is the last player finishing this race. I mean, yeah.
Yes, you can
Try
say
harder,
that.
Schulzer, please, next time.
Yes. Don't forget that's
Schulzer, what are
the
you up
next time, so I can do the over cleanup.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I had a very bad seed in terms of execution. Like obviously Zelga's always going to do better and do a little more faster than me anyway, but I had a debt to Moth and a debt to Trinex, and while I was doing those dying and refighting bosses, Zelga was off finding flippers for me, so it wasn't a great seed from my perspective.
We had like 2 trainings matches with Schulzer yesterday and today, and both were pretty much low percent. I think in the first game, even 3 swords and Ganon's tower, that was hilarious. and the same in this seed, like, yeah, I wanted sword for Viti because no silvers at this point, and I don't know, it just felt like other seeds.
No
Yeah, so-
hard magic this entire seed.
Yeah,
How did you
this
find
has
that?
to be left side swamp or in tile
Ice
room
team.
maybe.
Type of Ice Team.
Yeah, if you guys did right side GT, GT big chest maybe. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right side GT with another sword, so yeah.
So Schulzer had a 4 hearts red mail modular fight. Also had to come back, do it again.
Yeah, if I don't have to waste my potion on stupid as mountain, which bothered me again, where I wasted that potion and then didn't have it for Motsuna. And I also don't die then. It all just didn't work out in my way today.
And Tito did skip the Eastern Palace sword and had to go back in after
Maybe,
clearing the dungeon.
maybe not.
Yeah.
It sounded like mistakes were made all around, really. But next race should be fun anyway.
Yes, and speaking of that next race, I believe we do have a team change. Soldier, you will be taking the bench, and your third teammate Yoshi will be taking part in that
Oh,
race.
thanks God.
Thank God I can finally watch.
By the way, Schulzer just after the race finished was like, Tito, you're talking so much. What? Please stop this. I'm really sorry. I played against my own team, I think.
Yes. Now, of course, for those of you who watch us here in the States, make sure to set your alarms because these two will face again very early in the morning on Sunday at 10 o'clock. So be sure to tune in then for that. And coming up on the schedule, we also have. I had to scroll up there for a moment here. Happening right now over on SpeedGaming 2, we have Bolas Azules versus Tile Roomies. He's happening right now. And then over on join us back here in about an hour's time at 7 o'clock for 2 Infinity and Pigog Oops All Foxes. Or no, wait, did I get that wrong? Yeah, it's 2 Infinity and Pigog versus Oops All Foxes.
Yes.
That was kind of misworded there. And of course, we have a couple more games for you tonight at 8:40 with 2 Pearls Too Furious, a classic team, versus Leftovers Forever, happening on SpeedGaming 5. And we have Begone Pot and He Came From, happening at 9 o'clock over on SpeedGaming 4. And any final thoughts from you four before we wrap things up?
Just GG's. Looking forward to Sunday. And thanks for doing our commentary, the tracking, and restream. Really appreciate it.
Yep, exactly. Thanks for that, and Shady, Zelga, see you on Sunday.
GG's, looking forward to
We had
Sunday.
a good game too.
Yes, make sure to follow our forward runners here for putting on an excellent race for us tonight. Also, big shoutouts once again to Magno here for holding down the fort. Where I did not mean to leave you hanging, and yet but I came back eventually. And of course, make sure to follow our 2 trackers, Daruk and Bandman25, keeping those items up to date for you as best as they could. And of course, you can give me a follow as well. But for all of us here at the Link to the Past Randomizer League, I have been Wolfling0370, and we will see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.